Hey guys, Braden from Adrenalin Rush Sports Australia. On this episode of the Kite Fit program, we're going to go over a little bit of tech and a little bit of riding technique. We're just going to try to understand how we can improve our ability of riding upwind a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a couple of little diagrams for you to make it a little bit more understandable. But basically we're going to talk about how we can control the kite to give us a great amount of leverage to ride upwind. Okay? So basically when I was first getting into the sport, you know, I remember the first time I went up and riding, I was like, oh, well, where do I go? Can I ride directly upwind? Can I ride that way? Like, how do I control? How do I get anywhere? So after a while, you soon start to learn these sort of things, and you pick up principles behind it all. But one thing we want to try and understand is how we can control the kite to make us go upwind as much as possible. So basically, how I like to look at it is. We'll start off from looking straight down on the rider, okay? So let's just say that the wind is going in this direction, okay? And we've got a guy who's riding here, this is his board, and his kite is down here because the kite's always downwind of the rider. Now the guy's riding in this direction here, make it a little bit darker for you, okay? So basically one of the principles that I learned and I was taught throughout my years is basically understanding how far to pull your bar in and what that's going to do. So when you're riding in this direction, 90 degrees to the wind, your kite is, let's just say, is sitting here. Now if you pull your bar in, what the kite actually does is sits further back into the window. So if you pulled, if this guy was riding barred in a little bit further, the kite would come back here, this way. And if you pushed his bar out, the kite would come forward this way, okay? Now, understanding this principle here, what we want to understand is basically we want to maintain our board speed as much as we can, but push our bar out as far as we can. Now, that means when you dive your kite and you start riding off, you get your board speed, you're feeling comfortable, and when you want to start riding upwind, push your bar out as far as you can, and then you'll feel your board speed drop a little bit, pull it back in just a little bit, and that's sort of where you want to start to hold that bar in reference to the travel on the bar. What that does is, as you're riding along, if the kite is coming further forward into the window, so I'll do it in a different colour for you. The kite is now sitting in this position here. Now that's quite dramatic, but let's just run with it. It's further forward in the window. This board position here is now going to be greater in reference to the wind in this direction here. So I apologise for the scribble, I'm not the best drawer, but I hope this gives you a little bit of a representation. So push the bar out as far as you can whilst maintaining board speed. As soon as you feel like your board speed is dropping, bring it back in a little bit, and what's happening is your kite's going to come further forward into the window or further around, and your ability to point your board further upwind is going to be greater. So the couple of mistakes that I do see people make, especially when they're trying to get onto the board for the first time or when they're first up and riding, is they just hold that bar in too much. They think that the bar is like a handle that's going to pull them out of the water. It's not. So when you pull that bar in, we know that the kite comes back now, so you can imagine pulling the bar in, digging that heel edge in, you're not really going to get anywhere, you're just fighting the kite. So remember that the bar is just a steering wheel and you're just trying to control the amount of pressure, and then all the power is going through your harness, okay? And by pushing your bar out as far as you can without losing board speed and pointing your board a little bit further upwind, you're going to have more ability to ride upwind. I hope you understood that little principle here. That's probably one of the main things you need to sort of grasp, and it'll definitely make your kiting a lot easier. And that's about it. So if you got any questions, got any comments, please leave them below. I hope you learned something today. I'm Braden from Adrenalin Rush, and thanks for watching this video, guys. Cheers.
Check out adrenalinrush.net.au for all the links.